Keyoka, the awkward black nomad. I'm a writer, I'm a dog mom, and I travel solo. So this December, I am doing something called vlogmas, where I'm going to create new content to give to you guys every single day for 25 days in the month of December. I am actually planning a BOP in 2026. And I'm going to take you through my entire process from start to finish. This is exactly how I got abroad last year, and it's a kind of a fail-safe plan, I mean, if I say so myself. I do want to remind you to like the video. That shows the YouTube algorithm streets where you like to hang out, right? Show them that this is the kind of content that you enjoy. So please like the video. It's a free way to support the channel. Not free way is to actually become a channel member. You know, support your girl, support your girl. These are going to be pre-recorded videos, but if you guys are engaged in the comment section, asking me questions, leaving me comments, I will try to respond to those at the end of every video. I might be wearing a different shirt, or my hair might be different or something, because I am recording those later and adding them into the original video. On my first video, I mentioned that I like to be nomadic, right? So I haven't really picked a country that I want to, you know, make bay. I haven't found a place yet where I feel like this is a great place to spend 20 years. I have not found her yet. Realistically, that country is probably going to be in Europe. It's probably going to be Spain, maybe France, maybe Portugal. But I thought, why not give Latin America a shake, right? I know some homegirls in Mexico who are living it up. I know the girlies are in Costa Rica and Colombia and Panama. These are amazing locations that I think are easy to get visas for or residencies for. And so my plan is to do a little bit of research and then start to plan my BOP to go check out those places to see if they might be a fit for me and the boys. By the boys, I mean my two Chihuahua mixes, Bernie and Frank. Here's a picture, who by the way are sleeping, and I really think the sweet spot for me recording is going to be in the middle of the night. I want to do something ridiculous to my hair. I've never dyed my hair before, and this is really the only time I had today to try it out, so I'm gonna try it. I want to try this temporary color from As I Am, and we'll just give it a go. We'll see what happens, right? And I'm going to talk to you guys about scouting trips. So scouting trips are basically where you go to a new country and you just want to take her out to dinner. You want to see if y'all personalities mesh. You want to see if you could catch a vibe. Maybe you want to put a ring on that thing. This is the time for you to figure out if that's what you want to do during a scouting trip. So obviously, needless to say, the reason why I'm doing a scouting trip is because some things are going on in the US. So for me, I like to travel. Well, that's not true. I actually don't like to travel. I like to be in new places. I don't like the process of traveling. I hate travel days. They really stress me out. I need a towel. I can see right now I need a towel. But I haven't found a place where I really feel like this is forever. For me, Albania kind of was that place, but I feel like Albania is a place where if I was like retirement age, I got a towel. So I love Albania, and I spent a lot of time there last year when I was in Europe popping around. I have gloves. So listen, if you ain't been to like H Mart or 85 degree, no, that's the bakery. But like, let me tell you, these were cheap. Not H Mart, where did I get these from? So why am I doing a scouting trip? Obviously, there's been a lot of fear surrounding the election and the president-elect. And I think a lot of people feel like they want to get out of here, right? A lot of people are feeling like they want to get out of here, and a lot of people don't have a plan to get out of here. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I always knew I was going to do another BOP. I just didn't know where that was going to be. And I don't know, I think I've always been dating countries. So even when I was in Europe for that year and some change, I was still looking at countries like, what would life would be like here, right? But I hadn't really jumped the gun because I was still thinking, I don't know. I think it's probably like a mental hurdle. Going abroad, it's easy to think about abroad as like, okay, this is something that I'm gonna do, but girl, how do we feel about her? I'm not sure. This is crazy. I've never dyed my hair before. What was I even saying? How do people get ready with me? I'm a little ADHD, so this is freaking me out. So thinking about actually living abroad is it's not a new concept. I think I always knew the quality of life would be better when I was abroad. You know what I mean? Even when I was in Europe, I had exposure to better public transportation, right? Better health care, just a better environment, not having to deal with the pressures of racism, or dating was better abroad, different things like that. So for me, it was just kind of like, okay, I'll get abroad at some point, right? But I think I'm shooting this video, it's the 4th week of November. I'm thinking like, I have to get out of here for my sanity. I have to get out of here for my rights. Like, it kind of becomes, the need to be abroad has now been escalated. So there's that. These are my rationales for doing a scouting trip and just seeing what it is, seeing if there's a place that I feel like is my forever home. I've always been curious. I live in Texas right now, and so Mexico is right there. So it's like, why wouldn't I just bop over there and see what's going on? You know what I mean? And I'm going to put some resources in the chat. So like, if you're just starting out and you're wondering, where am I gonna go? How am I gonna start this? I'm gonna start you off with some resources that you should check out. These are things that I've looked at before previously. I'm getting really freaked out. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this. I've never dyed my hair before. I'm kind of nervous about this. I'm a little nervous. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to do. So things to look for when you're doing a scouting trip, right? Obviously, language is gonna be a big one. Am I going to have to learn a new language? So I am not opposed to learning a new language. I always considered myself like someone who picks up languages pretty easily. I've studied languages before, different ones. So I've studied Japanese, I've studied Korean. I know a few words in Chinese. I knew some Urdu. I've studied Spanish. If I'm going to a new place, I love to take language courses, and it's always good to learn the local language to any place that you go to. So a factor of a scouting trip, if you're looking to scout, is, am I going to have to learn a new language? Is it going to be difficult for me to get around to do things without having acquired a new language? So that's something to take into consideration. Did I say this? I'm not sure if I said this or not, but I'm planning to get better at Spanish. So like, even if I don't settle in Mexico, I still plan to get better at Spanish. I think Spanish is just good to have. Even when I was in Spain, oh Lord, I mean knocking stuff over. Even when I was in Spain, I was taking classes in Spanish. People more than likely use English, but it's always good to just have the local language under your belt for certain things. I think people are also kinder to you if they see that you're making an effort in learning their language. And I know somebody is gonna get in the comments and say, they speak more than Spanish in Spain. They also speak Catalonian. Girl, give it a rest. Please. I know, thank you. I know. But I just think Spanish is a good language to have under my belt because a lot of people speak Spanish. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's like 2 different colors. Okay, because I'm dyeing my hair. All right, I'm getting it together. I really hope this doesn't look crazy. If this looks crazy, don't tell me. Just don't tell me. Don't say anything about it. But if it looks good, gas me up, please. Let's talk about things I look for in countries when I'm gonna be scouting. Obviously, do I need to learn another language? How difficult is that language to learn? Like I said, I'm not a polyglot because I ain't learned nothing yet, but I am interested in other languages. So it doesn't matter where I am, I always try to get a few phrases under my belt whenever I'm in a new place. And I always think it's good to have that curiosity. You know what I mean? Show people that you want to immerse yourself in their culture a little bit. Other things that I look for: public transportation. How easy is it for me to get around? So I use public transportation when I'm traveling. Oftentimes, or at least in my experience, right, it's been more efficient than Ubering or getting a cab or something. And for me, learning the public transportation system, I want to be able to explore on my own without needing a lot of help. So doing that or having access to that is really helpful for me. So how easy is it to get on a bus, go in the metro, and find my way around the city? Do you know what I mean? These are things you should be looking up. How affordable is it? How can I get the best bang for my buck, you know? We not rich out here. We not Nepo babies. But if you are a Nepo baby, you looking for a wife? Just asking. Another thing is, because I'm a dog mom, I have to consider how the boys feel about it. People don't get this when I say this. Bernie and Frank, sometimes they don't like places that we go to. For instance, I've noticed Bernie and Frank like cooler climates. I don't know why. These are dogs from New Orleans. I don't know why they got bougie like that, but they really. So if I think about their behavior in cooler climates compared to their behavior in warmer climates, very different. When it was hot outside, Bernie would act like he didn't want to go outside. He didn't want to deal with it. You know, they just laid around all day, very lazy. But if it's cooler, oh, we're excited to go outside. We're happy. We're running free. You know, they want to go hang out with their friends. These dogs, like, y'all think it's a game. But I'm choosing a home for me, but I'm also choosing a new home for them. So not just do they like this place, but also how easy is it for me to bring them into this place, right? How accessible are vets? How do the general public treat animals? Because you can tell very easily when people don't care about dogs, people aren't concerned. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should have got a different color. It's giving like light brown. Can you even see the gold? It's supposed to be gold. I hope my ring light is not in the, like, on your nerves, because this is just what we have right now. I'm going to get another mic whenever I do. I'm going to get another mic. I was really worried about the back. We'll see. The color is taking though. The color is really taking. I did want it to be like gold, like a vibrant gold. I don't know. It's still too early to tell. But this stuff is really easy to use. They have other colors, like they have purple and blue and red. Maybe I'll get a different color. We'll see. What am I talking about? Let me go back to my list. If you're traveling with pets, something to consider is greenery. When I got to Ireland, I was very surprised that I chose accommodations where there were no parks around. There was no greenery. Literally, it was like a concrete jungle in that area. And that's really something you need to be on the lookout for if you're a pet owner, because, you know, if it's time to walk your dogs, you don't know where to go. You gotta go out your way, you know? You gotta go out your way to walk them. I will say also in Ireland, that was the first time I ever had cops be friendly to me. So I went to Ireland last February, and it was like the start of my journey. And I was so surprised. So I was looking around for, you know, dogs to have a bathroom. And these cops were just like hanging out laughing about something. And like, we're just so nice. They were like, oh, you need help? Where are you going? Well, let me walk you to the park that I know. And I was like, wow, these are some friendly policemen. Like, I would never go up to a cop and ask for a bathroom. I'm immediately afraid. But just to have people like be so friendly and kind towards me, it's just a new experience. So, you know, needless to say, that's another reason why I want to live abroad, is because I want to have more friendly experiences with law enforcement and not be treated like a criminal. So yeah, greenery. So if you have dogs, be considerate about how much access your animal is going to get to greenery. If you're somebody that likes to meander in a park, you know, make sure that parks are a thing where you're going to, you know what I mean? What do you like to do? A lot of people actually don't know what they like to do. I have learned through travel. Well, I had an idea. I'm an indoor girly. We like to be inside where it's quiet. I love a calm atmosphere. But through traveling, I've learned I don't mind to dip my toe in, you know, into the city life where the city mice are. I'll go sometimes, right? I like to have a little bit of access to the city, but still I like to live in a quiet area. Part of that too is because of the dogs. So like if it's a busy outdoor area, I really don't like it because the dogs are going to be uncomfortable. They're going to be stressed out. I'm going to be stressed out. It's not a good vibe. I love a walkable city also. Love being able to walk to get groceries, walk to like my favorite bakery, things like that. I feel like take all of those things into consideration. What do you like to do? Your new country, is it a place where there are lots of social events? Is it a place where you can easily go to the museum? I love a museum. I love art. And I think it's so important to, you know, I think so much of scouting comes down to what do you like to do and how do you like to spend your time. This is almost an intentional way of living your life where you are the focal point. So, you know, get into what you enjoy doing. What do you like to do? What are you looking for in your new home? I've mentioned walkability. I've mentioned access to good public transportation. I've mentioned access to greenery, a place where my dogs will feel happy, where I'll feel happy. I love a bakery. Sweet's gonna be the death of me, I already know. And I'm okay with that. I love a bakery. I love to meander. I deserve to meander. We all do. And, you know, I just want to spend time doing the things that I like to do in places that make me feel safe and happy. So a lot of travel for me is being in places that make me feel safe and happy. How important is it for you to be around Black folk? So in my scouting trip, I'm choosing countries that I've heard the Black people enjoy. Okay, lit. That's what I heard. So we're going to go find out. And I don't mean lit like there's a good nightlife. I'm like, this is a safe environment. People can see themselves living here long term because they enjoy it. And there's a community of Black expats. That's what I mean. So we'll see. There is an element of community that I would like to see, right, in my new potential home. So I'm going to take that into consideration on my scouting trip, right? I want to go to a place where I feel like there's, you know, cool people there. This is not, this color, I don't know if I like this color. It says gold. Now, I understand that my hair is black, but I was expecting gold. Are there any hairdressers in the video? It's giving light brown. It's not giving gold. It's giving morena. We'll see. And again, maybe I'll try a different color. I almost bought purple. Purple is my favorite color. What else is there? What else was I saying? I think another thing is too, going to different cities. So I'll use this as an example. When I was in Spain, I talk about it. I have a video, Black in Spain, that I will link to in the description box. And also, here's a picture. I didn't really like Barcelona. If I'm being honest with you, I could live in Barcelona, but I would have to live outside of the central area, like around the Gothic Quarter in Barceloneta. It's a very touristy area. I did not like to be in that area. If it was the sort of outskirts of Barcelona, I probably could live in Barcelona. But after having a conversation with Londo, who lives in Zaragoza, and I'll put a link to that interview, I'm like, maybe I need to just go to a different city. So when I was in Spain, I went to Valencia, and I went to Madrid, and I enjoyed my time there, and it was a different vibe than it was in Barcelona. So that's the thing. You have to test out different cities to see what your vibe is. Maybe the city that you're in is just not your vibe. Maybe the neighborhood that you're in is not the vibe. Because like I said, I don't want to stay in Barcelona. I feel like this is going to look like a mess at the end. You know what this is reminding me of? My grandma used to be a hairdresser, and she would always dye her own hair like a copper color. This is giving my Grammy. My Grammy would gas me up. My Grammy would be like, this is the best your hair has ever looked. She would gas me up. Oh, so something else. Plan one trip home. Initially, during my original bop, I didn't plan any trips home. I was just kind of like, listen, I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all. My family's small. Y'all can come and visit me. The reality of the situation is my sisters, I mean, it was a little difficult for my aunt, I think, to travel just because we have a goober in my family. A goober, I call him a goober, Jack. He is 8 years old, and he's the same age as the dogs. The dogs will be 8 in December. Jack is now 8. So they were born in the same year. But, you know, when I was abroad, I missed everybody, but I really missed Jack. So if you know that you have family members who you really want to see, you need to incorporate them in your plan. I just did a little 1-2. I think I spent not quite a week, maybe like, I might have spent 10 days coming home. So incorporate a trip home. You're gonna need it. You're gonna wanna see your people. And I think in terms of if you're looking to relocate to a new place, you should be thinking about how important it is for you to get to and from home. So, you know, flights from Mexico, I don't know, well, depending where you are in the US, but flights from Mexico might be cheaper than, let's say, Portugal or wherever you decide to settle. So if you're traveling with pets, know that you probably will need to make arrangements. I always think it's good to find a sitter like that you enjoy in whatever country that you're in, just because you never know. You might want to bop to a different country. Like you might want to bop to a nearby country. You know, whatever you decide to do is up to you. But these are things to consider. And that's all I got. That's really all I got. I feel like this is gonna look crazy. But you know what? If it does look crazy, it's only temporary. It literally looks like the Joker. Does it look like the Joker, or am I delusional? Please say I'm delusional. Oh my God. I don't understand how girls do the get ready with me videos. Because it's like, you guys even care? Like, I could look a mess and people are gonna be like, well, that was stupid. Please don't do that.